Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagada Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gaur Premanande
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Okay, welcome dear devotees to our class on Friday evening on Bhagavad-gita. And which verse from Bhagavad-gita are we supposed to do today?
7.26.
7.26 is Prasanna Mataji for 500 points. So let me start sharing my screen and bring up 7.26. I don't know how many months ago did we start chapter 7, Prasanna Mataji, do you remember?
I don't remember. Before you went for yatra. Yes, before you went for yatra.
Much before that.
Much before.
Much before. 26 weeks. Verse 26 means 26 weeks.
Correct.
Here and there cancellation means 30 weeks. 30 weeks means 7 months. So 6 to 7 months ago.
And in between you went for the yatra also.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 30 weeks, that's why, yeah, easily. So we did start quite some time ago. And so now let's look at this.
Oh, that's all. We have only 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Four slokas are there for this chapter. We're going to finish this. Total.
Yeah, including today's 5. Okay, so let's get started here. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni māṁ tu vedana kaścana. It's a very powerful verse, very deep rooted, very deep meaning. And easy also, right? Everybody say vedāhaṁ samatītāni.
Vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni.
No.
Arjuna.
No.
Vartamānāni Kṛṣṇa. Vartamānāni
cārjuna.
No. Number 1, I only said say vedāhaṁ samatītāni. So you don't have to go like a bullet train.
Oh, okay.
Vedāhaṁ samatītāni.
You have to listen, that practice, the art of listening, right? Listening to instructions.
Yes.
How many have scolded your husbands for not listening properly? Never, always, sometimes.
We can't scold them, but something else we can do.
What are you doing now? Tell me. So, vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni ca Arjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni māṁ tu vedana kaścana. Vedāhaṁ. Veda means to know. Aham means I. Vedāhaṁ samatītāni. Completely in the past. Whatever has happened. Then vartamānāni. Vartamānāni means
Presence.
Cha and not ka. Cha means and. Arjuna is Arjuna. That this will be cārjuna and not cārjuna.
Cārjuna.
I know we think about cars, but not here. So Cha and Arjuna, O Arjuna, and bhaviṣyāṇi, future.
Future.
Cha,
Yeah.
also. Bhūtāni,
Yeah, bhūtāni.
all living entities. Māyā,
Me.
me. Tu, but. Veda, knows. Na, not. Kaścana, anyone.
Kaścana.
Translation: O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know of living entities. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Okay? Mam tu vedana kaścana. Nobody knows me. Okay? Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Here the question of personality and impersonality is clearly stated. Right? So for the past few weeks, we have been talking about impersonal and personal form, right? So Prabhupada continues, and this is for Prabhupada's favorite topic, to squash the impersonalist and to establish the personality of the Lord. If Kṛṣṇa, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were māyā or material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, right? They say that Kṛṣṇa is light and energy and things like that, and then he takes this form like us. So if Kṛṣṇa, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, were māyā, material, as the impersonalists consider him to be, then like the living entity, he would change his body and forget everything about his past life. Anyone with a material body cannot remember his past life, nor can he foretell his future life, nor can he predict the outcome of his present life. Therefore, he cannot know what is happening in the past, present, and future. Unless one is liberated from material contamination, he cannot know past, present, and future. Unlike the ordinary human being, Lord Kṛṣṇa clearly says that he completely knows what happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and what will happen in the future. In the 4th chapter, we have seen that Lord Kṛṣṇa remembers instructing Vivaswan, the sun god, millions of years ago. Kṛṣṇa knows every living entity because he is situated in every living being's heart as the super soul. But despite his presence in every living entity as super soul and his presence as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the less intelligent, even if able to realize the impersonal Brahman, cannot realize Sri Kṛṣṇa as the Supreme Person. Certainly, the transcendental body of Sri Kṛṣṇa is not perishable. He is just like the sun, and Māyā is like a cloud. In the material world, we can see that there is sun and that there are clouds and different stars and planets. The clouds may cover all these in the sky temporarily, but this covering is only apparent to our limited vision. The sun, the moon, and stars are not actually covered. Similarly, Māyā cannot cover the Supreme Lord. By his internal potency, he is not manifest to the less intelligent class of men. As it is stated in the 3rd verse of this chapter, out of millions and millions of men, some try to become perfect in this human form of life. And out of thousands and thousands of such perfected men, hardly one can understand what Lord Kṛṣṇa is. Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, without being in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Right? Even if one is perfected by realization of impersonal Brahman or localized Paramatma, he cannot possibly understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Kṛṣṇa, without being in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Okay. Comments? Questions? Reflections? Ideas?
Only Krishna knows the present, past, and future.
To understand Krishna, one has to be his pure devotee. Then only one can understand Krishna, who he is.
Without being Krishna consciousness, we cannot do Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay. What else did we hear?
And he is the one from, he was telling from the previous chapters, Vaivashwan, the sun god, and million years ago, and we lost all the thing. But again, he told to Vaivashwan, sun god, and again this Bhagavad-gita and Bhagavatam, all these lit things came back again.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Krishna says that nobody knows him, but he knows everyone, even though he is in the form of Paramatma in our heart. Still, we don't know him.
Also, Krishna says that all men, all his devotees who are the pure, apart from the pure devotees, others think that Krishna is like themselves, like us, like themselves.
So what does it mean, like us?
That means he's also a human being.
Okay.
With a form.
Okay.
And oh, that's what I understand.
Good.
But to others, he is unintelligent. But to others, to unintelligent non-devotees, I mean, the unintelligent non-devotees think that he is like them, maybe.
Right. And also the impersonalists, right? Who say that God doesn't have a personality. They will say that God doesn't have a form. And then here he takes on a material form. And
yes.
right? Like that. Okay. So it's a very musical verse, today's verse. bhaviṣyāṇi bhūtāni māṁ tu vedāhaṁ kaścana vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna. So it says that we do not know. So Krishna knows the present. So we don't know the present. So how come we don't know the present?
But all these acharyas know our future and our past and our present, everything they know. The acharyas.
So let's focus here on the question, which is, how come Krishna says that only he knows the present, right? Why is it like that? Do we know
that he's omnipotent. That is why he knows.
You also know the present, right? You are sitting here.
We know present, but we don't know the future, and then past is also sometimes we forget.
Mataji, what will happen the next moment? We don't know that.
That is future.
That's future. That's future.
But Mataji, one way what Mataji is saying that this present we are sitting here, and in a moment it gets past. So as it is, we do not remember our past and present and future. We don't know the future. We don't know the past. But present, which we know, still we do not know, Mataji. Because
Why you do not know? Are you sitting in a chair right now? Are you speaking?
Yeah, I'm sitting in the chair.
You know
now,
that?
but
You know you are sitting on the chair, you're speaking, that's the present. You know
that
it.
is present, but it becomes in a fraction of a second, it becomes past.
That is fine. Then
Yeah,
you
there
know,
is past is
you know the
past.
immediate past also, right? You know the immediate
Yeah.
past. That just now I said this and right.
But
But-
present mostly we know, we think that we know, but anything can happen even present also.
Because we are
Anything
contaminated
can
with
happen.
material body.
If when you're using the statement, anything can happen, then it has not happened yet, right?
Yeah,
Not happened
that's
yet.
And it is
future.
future. Like that.
Very confusing.
Yeah, confusing.
So let's go back and see what Kṛṣṇa is saying, right? In this verse. We have to read the Gita scrutinizingly. What is Kṛṣṇa saying?
Whatever has happened in the past, he knows. All that is happening in present,
I know
he knows.
everything.
And all the things that are yet to come, he knows. So
No, don't go in the past, don't go in the future. Just
I also
present.
know
I
all
also
living
know
entities,
all living entities, but no
but
one knows
me,
me.
no one knows. That is the key part.
see
I
here
also
the
know.
key word here is all.
Yeah.
Right? Because even if you know the present, your understanding and your knowledge of the present is a limited knowledge, right?
Yes.
You only know what is happening here. Even at this moment, you know what you're thinking, but you don't know what others in the class are thinking, what to talk about the rest of the
That's
universe is thinking.
Yeah.
But Kṛṣṇa knows that. So you see the quantity, the volume of his understanding is so much more. So he's saying all that is happening. I know all that is happening, which is beyond us, right? So Shretagya, we understand, we just understand the body, our body. That also we don't understand completely and fully. Right? Do we understand our body completely? Do you know your body? Right? You don't know that, right? So, and then of course about the past. And as you all were saying that this future becomes the past, we might remember. Like, do we remember what we ate for dinner last night?
Unless
I
we
had
concentrate.
only a cup of milk at night.
Right? So we don't even remember that. What we had for breakfast, what we have for lunch. So our memory is very short-lived. Right? And of course, and what to talk about the future. People always want to know the future.
Yeah.
Right? We have this curiosity, innate curiosity that we want to know the future. Right? And perhaps we also want to know the past life. What was I in my past life?
That's
Want to know
what we don't know.
So that curiosity is always there. People go to various so-called
Acharyas.
not necessarily acharyas, but they are, I don't know what to call them, but those who tell the future and those who can tell the past, they just go there. And they will tell you, okay, now you were a school teacher there. Something like that they'll tell you. Right? But we don't know. And in some cases, even they don't know and they are bluffing you. And you part with some luxury. But that desire and that curiosity is there to know the future. Now, sometimes that we have these what we call as serials, right? We call them serials, TV serials, commercials. They call them here commercials, but TV serials as we call them in India. And so every wedding night, you will sit down in front of the TV to watch that, right? And as the play is unfolding, the time comes and it'll always stop at a time where you're like so curious to know what happened. What is going to happen? Are the two going to get married or not? Like that. So we always have that desire, that strong thing to know and what is the unknown. But we do not know. And God has hidden the future from us very out of wisdom. Why do you think he has
one way past and future we don't know? Sometimes it's good thing for us because some bad things happened in the past. So we can remember that whatever happened, say, so for example, I'm talking about my husband. So I lost him. But whatever time I spent, I remember. But slowly, I thought I cannot live. I cannot do without my mother or without my father or my husband. But slowly, this time gives us forgetfulness. Isn't that, Mataji?
And so that is about forgetting the past.
If I would have known that I'll lose them, that my life will be more this thing. So I don't know. I thought I will have everybody. I thought I will go. No, I didn't go. So those are the things. Sometimes it's a blessing. I don't know whether I should say like that or not.
No, it is the right thing. In all his wisdom, he hides it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've just heard about a person, one of my acquaintances at the temple. She lost her cousin brother, and it was his birthday, and she got busy.
Mataji, she is here in this call.
Oh, he is here? Okay, good. So she didn't know. She was wishing happy birthday. The person was enjoying the birthday. Didn't know that he's going to die. If he knew that he was going to die, he wouldn't have celebrated the birthday. So our future is hidden from us for a purpose.
Yeah.
But we have this curiosity that we want to know. And so then we will all these astrologists, futurologists, and whatnot. Right? So Kṛṣṇa
sometimes these horoscope people, they do tell some things. Some things happens, what they say. Suppose like my son's horoscope, and they said he will change his jobs when he was 17 years old. And while coming here, I made him his horoscope, one person in India. So they said he will change his jobs. My son was so playful childhood when he was young. I was so scared that he will change his jobs. He's not going to work or do anything. But same thing happened. He changed his jobs. But he is well off. So those things, horoscope things, sometimes it works. And we get worried, carried on, but it goes in good way. Sometimes it goes bad way also. But I was so much worried about him. But he came up very good colors. He just did good things, and though he changed his jobs.
Yeah. And what if the horoscope was wrong?
I don't know.
So
sometimes if it is wrong, like if I would have known that I lose my husband, and those are the things worrying.
Right.
So
other way around also. If somebody says you're going to get $1 million and you start spending now, and borrowing and spending, investing, you can do that. So other way around also it can be bad, right? Either ways it's circular.
Yes, Mataji.
Right?
But some fortune tellers, I believe, are quite accurate.
Yeah. So
though I have had no experience.
So you will 100% believe on them?
I have no experience. I never go
by chance it might happen.
But I hear from other people.
Right.
I don't know. I personally don't believe, so I don't go to anyone.
No,
I've never
It's such an interesting thing that when we were growing up, there used to be so many of these fortune tellers, some fake, some like that, and they would come. And as is the tradition in India, like if the daughter-in-law is going to have a baby, they want to know, is it going to be a son or not? Right? Those days, there were no such methods to know. And so they would bring these people home to say, tell me who he is. And this person doesn't know. So he'll just say, ladka hoga. Because they will be happy and they'll give you some good remuneration, right? For giving them the good news. And then when he would leave the home and go outside to the neighbors and all, he would say, ladki hogi. Right? So if the son is born, that's fine. He will get more money. for prediction. And if there's a girl, he will say, I never said the sun was born, ask the neighbors. Right? So when it comes to knowing the future, Krishna is the only one who knows the future. And he has very mercifully actually hidden the future from us. Okay? And then, as you pointed out, also very mercifully, he makes us forget the past. And that's why he says, Sarvasichaham, Siddhi Sannivishta Matta Smritir Jnanam Apumanasya Vedesya Sarver Aham Eva Vedyo Vedantakrit Vedavid Eva Chaham. Right? So it is his mercy. It is his mercy that he helps us to forget.
That is good for us.
That is good for you. Otherwise, like the death happened in the family, we would still be lamenting for our parents and our grandparents. Right? So that's what they say, with time, things heal. But in Bhagavad-gita, Krishna also says, I am
The healer.
time. Time I am, right? I am time,
Krishna.
right? So Krishna has to do, his arrangements are very, very thought through. And we might just, not think like that. And again, the statement that Prabhupada refers to in the purport, where Krishna is saying that, where he talks about that so many millions of years ago, I gave this instruction, the Bhagavad-gita instructions, to Vivaswan, the sun god, who gave it to Ishkuvaku, and like that. And that's when also Arjuna says that, how come, you remember and I don't remember, like that. And so that also proves that the impersonalists who make this statement that Krishna is energy and takes this material body, then if Krishna is constantly taking material body from the Krishna who gave that instruction to Ishkuvaku, and then he dies and then takes another body and gives, now millions of years later, is giving instruction to Arjuna, he will not remember, because how much do you remember about 1 million years ago? Where were you in this material body? The material body doesn't have that. Now, of course, some of you had mentioned that some people do have the power. They are called Kaldarshi. Kal means tense, so they can see past tense, present tense, and future tense as well. But those people are very, very rare, right? For example, Vedvyas, he was a Trikaldarshi. He could see the future also. And that's why he was writing the Mahabharata even when it had like that. So he has done that. Now comes a question in life, and this is a very powerful verse. And to have this knowledge, vedāhaṁ samatītāni vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni māṁ tu vedna kaścana. So I know the bhavishya. He knows the future. Okay? Now we don't know the future. And so Vindhyavali Mataji did not know the future of her son. So she was trying to shape the future based on the present that she knew of her son. And she was worried, because why? Because the son is squandering away his time, he's naughty, he's playful, he's this and that. And then she would be like a mom, say, okay, no, you sit down and study. Because if you sit down and study, so she was trying to shape, right? Not knowing the future, she was trying to shape the present for him in order to shape the future. Right? So she was trying to shape his future, and we do that as well. We tell our kids, right? My mom used to say, "Kahan padhaoge nahi to pariksha wala banoge." Right? So, on the other hand, what is Krishna saying? Vartamānāni cārjuna bhaviṣyāṇi ca bhūtāni. I know the future also. Right? And because Krishna knows the future, he shapes your present. On the other hand, we know our present, so we try to shape our present in order to, polish the future that's going to happen. That's what we think. That if I shape my present, the future will automatically get shaped. That's what we do. But Krishna, he knows your future, and that is why he will shape your present. And what does that mean for us in life? What does it mean that Krishna shapes our present because he knows the future? And that is where the question of unanswered prayers comes. Ever had any prayers not answered by Lord? Or God has been answering all your prayers?
Oh, there are things which we
Many times happen.
Many times
desire.
you ask.
Many times not answered.
Yeah, many
Right.
times not answered.
Yeah, many times they are not answered, right? And
Yeah.
then we get upset, and we're like, why is Krishna not answering? I'm chanting 16 rounds. Why is this happening? Right? So we have got prayers that get are not answered, right? And what is the reason? What is the reason for that?
It may not be good for us.
It's never good
Past
for us.
karma, past karma.
We don't deserve it.
Yeah, but karmic reactions can be overcome, right? By God's blessing.
Then I think
So-
it may not be good for us. That's all.
Yeah. Do you think sometimes we behave like God with our children? I mean, children also pray to us, right? Don't they? Please, Mama,
Fine.
please. That's what we do to God. Also, please, please, please. God.
Yeah.
Tell us, please, please, please. I want another candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our elders, we feel like that only for the elders.
Even now, you see, they say, Mama, pray for me. I'm going for this.
Yeah. My son, even today, he says that, my son. Mm.
Yeah, my husband also says to my kids, now you will get punishment. Now you will get punishment. So when he says that, I feel like, okay, now I will also get punishment from Kṛṣṇa. that thing, I always feel, oh my God. So okay, if I will also not listen, I will also get punishment.
Right. So when we say our prayers were not answered, then the question is like, hey, Mom, can I have an ice cream? And the mom said no. That was the answer. The prayers all get answered. It's just that the answer is not what we were expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Right? And why are our prayers not answered? In order to understand that I'm praying for something and still it is not happening to me, then I have to understand my relationship with God.
Yes, I'm not praying properly.
Right. I mean, like when your mom used to say no, we hated our parents at some time. Like, why? Why this, why that? But then as you grow up and you have your own children, that's when you realize and say,
That's the time period.
oh yes, she was
And
so
then we appreciate.
and you appreciate, right? So, and why do you appreciate? Because you have a relationship with your mother. So it's very important for us to first have a relationship with the Lord, right? And how do you establish a relationship with somebody? You have to know that person, right? When earlier it was not like that, but nowadays, when a boy is going to marry a girl, if it's going to be arranged marriage, still they will go out a little bit to know each other, right?
Yeah.
To establish a relationship, you have to go know each other like that. So we also have to get to know Kṛṣṇa. And so when we get to know Kṛṣṇa, about Kṛṣṇa, of course, scriptures are there, devotees are there, they're going to tell what is there. Then we have to, at some point in time, when you know the glories of Kṛṣṇa, as we are reading this scripture and we are knowing about Kṛṣṇa, like, oh, wow, nobody told us in this manner, nobody put it to us in this manner that Kṛṣṇa knows the past, present, and the future, right? Like that. So this means that Kṛṣṇa's vision is much broader than ours.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, I remember when we were growing up, one of my classmates, she wanted to marry some boy. And the boy's mother said no or whatever. And this boy was also, dilly-dallying and all that kind of stuff. And she was so upset. She would wear glass bangles and then she would, please don't do, she would cut her hand like that, and all blood coming out like that. And then one day her mom just told her that, a very wise mother, she said, the person for whom you are cutting your hand like that, just check it out whether he deserves it or not. Because a mother is seeing the future of her own daughter if he were to marry such a man. So she's trying to dissuade her from going after him, saying just sit back, think it through, right? This is exactly what Kṛṣṇa does to us and says, you think it through. I'm not going to give this to you. Think of something else, right? So Krishna's vision is very broad and he's very far-sighted than we are, right? That's why sometimes you hear the girl ran away with the boy. They went to Bombay to star in films, right?
Mm.
And this boy, after some time when the hunger pangs come, then the girl realizes that this man doesn't work. How am I going to get the food? And the boy will then maybe sell the girl. And that's it.
Yeah,
The end of
quite
love story. Right? So why? Because bhaviṣyāṇi, not knowing the bhavishya, not having enough wisdom. Like that. So, and then the third thing that Krishna has, and which we do not understand, is his love for us. Krishna's love for us is amazing and it is unparalleled. And his love is even more than what you can fathom and what you can digest. Right? Then, once you know all that, then you will be able to trust Krishna. Right? That he knows everything. Past, present, future, Krishna knows everything. Now, if you were to go to a doctor, right? And the doctor is going to give you some medicines. Now the doctor knows, his knowledge is limited, but the doctor knows what's going to happen 6 months down the line. If you take the medicines, if you don't take the medicines, if you continue to do the things he's telling you not to do, he knows that. The doctor, a good doctor, knows that to a certain extent, right? And that is why what if the doctor did not know what this medicine is going to do to you? And you trust that doctor, what do you think is going to happen to you? If you trust,
we will become better.
he gives you, if the doctor doesn't know what a medicine does, and he gives it to you, what's going to happen to you?
It's going to harm.
It's going to harm you, right? If the doctor doesn't know what medicine to give, right? That's why sometimes they talk about responsible parenthood. You have to be responsible parents, right? Don't give everything the teenager wants and asks for. Tough love is required like that, right? So God also gives you the tough love. And when our prayers are not answered, then we have to keep in mind that Krishna, in all his wisdom, knows what, for me to get this thing over here, is going to go against it, is counter, it's going to go act in a counter manner on me. Okay? So we can only see that Krishna is depriving me of this. Krishna is depriving me of this. Krishna is depriving me of this because I don't know the future. So sometimes Krishna will take things away because he knows that doing so, and at that time it's so miserable to even bear it, but and to have that faith that even in the reversals that happen in my life, Krishna has something good for me. And it's a very hard thing. It's a very high level of relationship with the Lord.
Yes, Mataji.
To understand that he's doing it, and yet there is some good for him. So what we can do is we can start that practice. We can start that practice and that curiosity and then inquisitiveness. That if something bad is happening to me, what is there in it for me? That Krishna is trying to teach me, that Krishna is trying to explain to me, that Krishna is trying to make me understand. Yes, Vaishnavi.
I was saying there's only one of my friends yesterday, she spoke to me and she said that her daughter-in-law said few very harsh words for her, and she realized that it's not going to be good for me if I continue staying here. She had lost her husband, and she immediately decided to go to the old age home and took the very hard decision to leave the family. She says, now I'm happy and I'm taking care of myself. I'm reading, I'm studying, So, and living in that. So sometimes the harsh words of other people also become a blessing for you. She says that was the right time. Good that she said, उसके मुंह पे सरस्वती बैठी और उसने बुरे शब्द मुझे बोले, but at least they were good for me.
Right. Right.
So sometimes.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I have a doubt that is not doubt. In fact, I was just wanted to share something that is when Krishna is not answering our prayers sometimes, it means that it is not yet time that we get whatever we are asking. Is that right?
Not yet time and never a time.
Okay, both.
Never a time also. Yeah.
Never a time sometimes.
Yeah, because in that direction it will go very difficult, very bad, right?
Can I add something to that, Mataji?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Mataji, I also feel that Krishna answers our prayers, but we don't get the answer that we are expecting. We get the answer that Krishna thinks is best for us. So because we don't know the future, right? So what is best in store for us in the future, that Krishna knows, and that's why he gives us that answer, but we don't understand it. Only in the future, when the time comes, we understand that yes, we asked this to Krishna and he has answered our prayer, but at that time I was so ignorant, I didn't understand that.
Exactly. So Krishna answers all the prayers. Sometimes the answer is no. Most of the time the answer is no. For most of the people. Yeah, rightly said. So like Arjuna, right? Arjuna is just asking for Krishna's permission and kind of trying to convince Krishna that why he should not fight. But Krishna, did Krishna grant his wish? Krishna did not grant his wish. Right? He made him fight, and ultimately later on the Pandavas, ruled the world together with Yudhishthira. So this is something that we should keep in mind, that about the Krishna's wisdom in not giving us everything that we want. He knows the future, right? And now one thing also to understand is that people always ask that, if Krishna knows the future, where is my free will? Where is the free will? Like we say, Krishna says everybody has a free will to do whatever they want, but you knew the future. Where is the free will? Right? We sometimes ask that question. But Krishna...
Maybe our free will is limited.
No. You have unlimited free will. You can do whatever in the type of body that you have. You have immense potentiality to do, right? So, and people ask that, that is Krishna fabricating the future for us? Has he already decided the future for us? Then where am I making the decision? So there's a difference between that, okay? For example, if you have a child, a grandchild, and you take 2 gifts for the grandchild, like Arjuna small is standing, is attending the class here. He's like a grandchild to me. I was there when he was born, or partly there. And so you give him an orange, you take an orange and you take a banana and say, Arjun, which one do you want? So Arjun is going to make the choice whether he's going to pick a banana or pick an apple. But I know which one he's going to pick. So did I manipulate the decision? No. It's just that I know what he's going to do. So when we say that Krishna, knows our future, it's not that he's fabricating the future. He's letting you make the decision. All that he knows is that what is the decision that you are going to make. That is the thing to keep in mind, right? So we should not think. So now, Krishna, he will not give us bad things because he loves us. That is, so that key thing that we have to understand and keep in our mind is that Krishna loves us. Okay. So in this verse, Krishna talks about, I know, what are the things that he talks about knowing? Tell me. In the topic of knowing, what are the points that come in today's verse? Krishna knows the past, like that. Tell me.
Krishna knows our future, our past, and our
Future.
present.
Present.
And what more?
He knows what is good for us.
He knows what is good for us. Okay. What else on the topic of knowing?
He knows everything, but nobody.
Okay.
He knows everybody, but nobody knows him.
Nobody knows him. Correct. So that is also about knowledge, right? So there was a positive about knowledge that Krishna knows this, 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 and this. And there was a negative aspect of knowledge also that nobody knows him, right? Okay. So now let's look at a verse from Bhagavad-gita. Let me bring it up here nicely and share it with you. How do I share? Okay, here. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tattvataha tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Somebody volunteer, please, and read the translation for me.
One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
Okay. So here in this verse, he's saying, no one knows me. Chapter 7. 11 chapters later, he's turning around. And he's saying, one can understand me as I am. So, this is what? Two opposite statements that he's making, right? They're paradox.
Paradox.
Right? So, paradoxes have to be explained. How do we understand? How do we understand that Krishna says in chapter 7 that nobody understands me? And now he's saying, what's there? What is the difference? What does 18.55 say?
He said only 1 in 1,000 of people.
Not in 18.55. But
Okay.
even in 1 in 1 million, if one knows, right? And if there are 10 million, 10 know. Right?
But
So,
he, at the same time, Mataji, he is saying, by devotional service.
by devotional service. See, that is what and that is how you explain away the paradox, right? That there's something there. And what is devotional service, by the way? What is devotional service? What is the ultimate aim of devotional service?
Doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord.
Knowing Krishna more and more.
Knowing Krishna more and more. And when you know more and more, what will you do?
Doing everything for the pleasure of the Lord.
Why do you want to do everything for the Lord? Because you love Him.
Please Him. Because I love Him.
Love is very, very powerful. Okay? And love will make things happen which were logically not right. Okay? So I collected some stories for you and I'm going to read them. And Sutapa might go to sleep because that will become a bedtime story for her. So here we go. And this is, some stories are fabricated. They're based on truth, but fabricated a little bit, but this one is a real story. In 1982, Angela Cavallo of Georgia saw her son trapped underneath a Chevy Impala. So, you know Chevy Impala? Big car. While working on it. The son must have been a car mechanic. He was pinned and unconscious. In an adrenaline-fueled act, she lifted the car just enough for neighbors to pull him out. This phenomena, called hysterical strength, has been documented in rare cases and is often triggered by a man protecting her child, by a mother protecting her child. Why is it illogical? Why do we say that her act is an illogical act? Nobody could logically think that Angela could do it because Angela was not a bodybuilder. She had never lifted anything remotely close to that weight. But her
believed it.
love overrode, yes, the physical limitation that she had. So anything on the physical level can be overridden by love. Right? Second one, in a war-torn region, a mother and child were trapped in a burning building. The only way out was to jump from the second-story window to a tiny balcony below. The mother was terrified of heights and had never even climbed a ladder. But with smoke thickening, she held her baby close and made the leap. She broke her leg, but her child was unharmed. Why is it illogical? Panic usually freezes people, but mothers often break through the paralysis of fear when their children are in danger. Just 1 second, Guruma is pinging me. He's in UK, so I need to address that. Okay, I'm back. So why was this illogical? Panic usually freezes people, but mothers often break through paralysis of fear when their children are in danger. So in Canada, a woman was hiking with her young daughter when a bear appeared. You know how big a bear is? The grizzly bear. She placed her body between her daughter and the bear and made herself look large, shouting, stomping, throwing things. The bear hesitated. Eventually, it backed off. The mother later admitted she was terrified, but knew her daughter wouldn't survive a bear attack. Why is it illogical? Standing up to a wild bear goes against every survival instinct. Yet she didn't run. She stood there because she wanted to protect the child. So love is very, very powerful. So when you engage in devotional service to the Lord, which is Kṛṣṇa, prema pumarto mahan, right? Ultimate is the love of the Lord. Then the impossible will happen, right? And the impossible is what he says in 7.26, that nobody can know me. And that impossible thing happens under the influence of love, right? And when we love Kṛṣṇa so much, Kṛṣṇa gets influenced by our love. And when he's attracted by the love that we have for him, then he uses his potency. He's omnipotent, right? He can do anything, all powerful. Through that, he will make the impossible possible. And so through that, we will be able to understand Kṛṣṇa, right? So keep that in mind. Kṛṣṇa knows past, present, and future. Nobody knows Kṛṣṇa, but you can know Kṛṣṇa. You have to do devotional service. Through what? Kṛṣṇa consciousness. What is Kṛṣṇa consciousness? Loving Kṛṣṇa. If you don't love, then how can you think of somebody all the time? Right? So we'll stop here and take some more reflections, questions for a few minutes.
That's why Kṛṣṇa says that you come one step towards me, that I'll come 10 steps towards you.
That is Kṛṣṇa's love for you. That
Kṛṣṇa's
is Kṛṣṇa doing extra. But here what we're talking about is that you will get the capability to do impossible things.
If we believe in Krishna, if we believe in
Kṛṣṇa
Krishna
service, we can
wholeheartedly, we are
One
devoted to him.
One at a time, one at a time. Yeah, I can't hear.
If we believe in Krishna wholeheartedly,
Mhm.
definitely we'll get the strength to overcome our difficulties
Yeah,
or
but
challenges, whatever.
understanding Kṛṣṇa.
Understanding, okay.
Understanding Kṛṣṇa. Understanding Kṛṣṇa, which he says is impossible. That understanding will come when you love him, because he will give you that understanding. Because you love him, he get overpowered by love. Right? What is Kṛṣṇa hungry for?
Love.
Love. So you give him, and then you capture him like that. Any other thoughts? Kṛṣṇa Mataji, are you trying to say something?
I was just
Yeah.
thinking that Krishna's love is, unimaginable. You see.
Correct.
It is unimaginable. He loves us so much, we don't even know, we can't even measure it.
Yes. That is true.
And he only, create the situations in such a way that things start happening, which we had never thought of. I never thought that I'll be able to read Srimad Bhagavatam. I never thought that I will read Bhagavad-gita. And credit goes to the devotees who motivated me to study, and especially you.
Even I never thought that
Thank you
this
so
would ever
much.
happen in my life, but I came across some satsang and all that is helped me to come up to this level of reading Bhagavad-gita, knowing Bhagavad-gita. Though I do not know very much, I still have a lot to know.
That's true.
Because in my case, this is just the beginning.
Whole life is changed, Mataji.
Yes, my attitude has also changed towards life.
That's very important. It's all about the attitude. Believe me. And you will see the constant cleansing happening.
Even Mataji, Jana Mataji mentioned once that she got Bhagavad-gita from somebody and she kept it on the shelf and she never touched it. She was into, very, like the young girls do, very enjoying life. And suddenly, one day she realized that she was a little upset, and she said, "Let me see, what does this book say?" So she spoke like that. What does this book say? Not in a respectful manner. And she read it, and her life changed totally, Mataji.
Yeah. And actually, this shows about Krishna's love. This story speaks about Krishna's love.
Yes.
Yeah.
How he has attracted her towards the book.
Yeah, despite the fact that she went in arrogance, right? And
Yeah.
anger, perhaps, right? But still, he still gave her and brought her to such an exalted level, right?
He was fortunate enough.
That is Krishna's love. And that's why I was saying that it is sometimes impossible for her, incomprehensible
Yeah.
for us to understand, what Krishna means, right?
And now Guru Maharaji comes and stays in her house. See that change, you see. She has kept one particular room for him only.
Nice. Yeah. So on that happy note, will we call it a day? Shall we? We'll meet again on Monday morning.
Sunday.
Sunday morning
Mataji.
for Bhagavad-gita recitation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Kripa sindhubhya patitana
Vaibhyō Vaishnavebhyo namaha.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Hari Hari.
Hari Hari
Thank
Bol,
you so much. Very nice class. Enjoyed.
Nice class,
Fridays.
as always.
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Nice. Krishna Katha. Hari Bol.
Fridays well spent. Out, Arjuna. I will put